to hear when it's finished.
Finished?
We are Sex Bob-Omb! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Yeah. Let me make you stasis. Mama serpentine. I got a breathalyzer, and my body's clean.
Comic book movies are everywhere right now and have been multiplying exponentially over the last decade. The vast majority of these adaptations are based on the superhero genre that's been a pillar of Western pop culture since the emergence of Superman nearly 80 years ago now. However, before the superhero resurgence, British filmmaker Edgar Wright was approached by Universal to adapt a manga-inspired series from publisher Oni Press that wasn't some grand super-powered epic, but the tale of a 20-something Toronto slacker Scott Pilgrim and the girl of his dreams. That might sound like a cliche romance, but it's kind of far from it. From the mind of Canadian cartoonist Brian Lee O'Malley, Scott Pilgrim draws influence from Japanese shonen manga, video games, the alt-rock scene, and, of course, O'Malley's own personal life. Scott Pilgrim is 22, seemingly aimless, and plays bass in a band with his high school friends. One day he meets the girl of his dreams, and in order to be able to date her, he needs to defeat her 7 evil ex-boyfriends.
7 evil exes, yes.
Sorry. 7 evil exes. And so follows a series of insane battles as Scott tries to literally win Ramona's affection. His band tried to win a record contract, and the girl Scott left for Ramona tries to win him back.
Great story, man.
This film won me over almost immediately upon first viewing. It comes at you with such energy that it's almost impossible not to like it. And that's before the action even starts. It's an absolute whirlwind, and its sheer enthusiasm can leave you breathless. Everyone involved on both sides of the camera attacks the material with such joy that you just kind of have to come along for the ride. Rewatching it for this, I was kind of struck by how I basically spent the whole film grinning. It's that kind of movie.
Sweet.
So, first of all, the cast is awesome. This movie kind of seems like they just found the real-life versions of the characters, walked straight off the page, and just cast them. Which isn't going to make a big difference if you're not familiar with the original books, but, you cast a film well and half your work's already done. One of the really great things that this movie does with its casting is it takes actors and actresses, or performers who are best known for sort of comedy roles or not known at all, and throws them into an action movie scenario. So it kind of really subverts your expectations of what you're going to see from some of these performers. Most notably amongst these is Scott Pilgrim himself, played by Michael Cera, who at that point in his career was mostly known for Arrested Development, and it's hugely entertaining to watch this sort of gawky, awkward, quiet guy just suddenly erupt into a flurry of martial arts action and kick all kinds of ass and then jump into the air and punch somebody into a pile of coins. It really isn't what you're expecting from the movie. And the stunt work on this film and the way the action is shot is absolutely exceptional.
I'm nothing without my stunt team.
They tried to have the actual actors do as many of their own stunts as possible under the supervision of the stunt team, and the work that's gone into it, especially coming from performers you wouldn't expect it from, is doubly impressive and really helps the fun of the film. I honestly can't praise the cast enough here. Everyone puts in amazing turns. You've got Mary Elizabeth Winstead's elusive but damaged Ramona sort of wooing Scott away from Ellen Wong's lovable but kind of naive Knives Chow. Alison Pill's incredibly dour Kim just provides some of the best laughs for the movie, as does Aubrey Plaza's turn as the impressively acerbic Julie.
Are you coming to my party Friday, or will you be busy babysitting?
Thank you, Julie.
You've got Jason Schwartzman. He's a gloriously greasy version of Gideon. Everyone's great. Mark Webber, Brie Larson. You've got a great turn by Kieran Culkin. You've got Anna Kendrick pops up in this. It's one of those movies where you'll spend the whole thing going, oh, hey, it's that guy.
Watch out! It's that one guy.
Also notable is there's two actors who do an inversion of the sort of action comedy switcheroo, where you've got Brandon Routh and Chris Evans, who was just about to be Captain America at that point, come in and they do a lot of action stuff, but also provide some really great comic moments as Todd Ingram and Lucas Lee, respectively. And again, it's great to see those actors working outside of their comfort zones. It's super entertaining.
That's actually hilarious.
Now, a good cast can't save a bad script, so it's a really good thing that this is an excellent script. It's tightly constructed by Michael Bacall and Edgar Wright, and Brian Lee O'Malley came in, gave it a good tune-up, made some dialogues, suggestions here and there, and made sure everything was working right. He was very involved in the whole adaptation process, and the dialogue just snaps, crackles, and pops off the page like some morning breakfast cereal. It's just electric. Anyone who's familiar with Edgar Wright's work, and you really should be, knows his trademark style. And it's on full display here. He keeps the movie running at a cracking pace, and Jonathan Amos and Paul Mackless, the editors, help him deliver on his trademark tight editing style that really keeps the movie snapping along. It's really a very clever film, which it's impressive in that it should come across as a very stupid film. It certainly is a very silly film, but still it has an intelligence about it, particularly in the way it's put together, but also then it's got some lessons to teach you about, growing up and accepting yourself and moving on from your childhood and sort of embracing your adulthood and finding your purpose and things like that. But all that is like dressed up in rock music and video game visuals. Speaking of the video game elements, I mean, despite not being based on an actual, game, this is probably the best translation of video game stylings to film. It's a better Street Fighter movie than Street Fighter was. Let's put it that way. And finally, I do want to talk a little bit more about the music in this film. Brian Lee O'Malley is also a musician, and his work is very much influenced by the music that he listens to while he works. There's playlists floating around out there that accompany each volume of the book, and Edgar Wright wanted to take as much of that music as possible and use it in the film and around the film. But one of the really most exciting things he did was that he took a bunch of real-world artists and got them to create music for the fictional bands in the film. So you've got the legendary Beck providing music for Sex Bob-Omb, Scott's band, and he wrote all these songs, and then got the actors to perform it, which again, impressive, taking these people out of the comfort zones. Michael Cera was the only one of Sex Bob-Omb who played an instrument. He already played bass. Mark Webber never played guitar before. Alison Pill never played drums. Mark Webber never sang. So getting those actors to learn those instruments and then perform those songs both on the soundtrack and on the set, it just feels really authentic in a way, and exciting and alive and organic. And Bex wasn't the only musician involved with the production. Broken Social Scene composed the music for Crash and the Boys. Metric gave the song Black Sheep to be a Clash of Demon Head song. There's other stuff as well that I'm probably forgetting. It's a very dense film musically. For me as a musician, there was something exciting about that. They were quite careful to get as many different voices in there as they could, and I feel that really made the music in this film exciting. Exciting's a great way to describe this movie as a whole, actually. It really made me feel that the first time I saw it. And I still get those sparks every time I watch it. Even though the film entered development in 2004, it didn't actually enter production until 2009, and so it released in 2010 and was sort of caught up amongst the year of like really, really great big movies. The superhero hype train was really gearing up then. The MCU had started their build to Avengers at that point. And it kind of got lost in the crowd, and it didn't make its money back at the box office. But thankfully, it did find an audience on DVD. That's where I first came to it. I think I bought it twice since I bought it on DVD and then bought it again on Blu-ray. So it does really have that fan. It has found its audience and found a home at home. Funnily enough, and it's not like it was ever really going to be a franchise. So it's not like we missed out on a sequel. It just would have been nice to have a bit more of an upfront reward for the people involved with this film, because man, they obviously cared a lot about it and they poured a lot of themselves into it. And it was kind of a shame it got lost amongst the noise of that year. But I just think it's wonderful, and I love it, and its energy is just so infectious. So if you haven't seen Scott Pilgrim, oh man, I love this film so much. You should really see Scott Pilgrim. Go and watch it. Go and get a copy of it. It's great. It's well worth your time, and it will be one of those films you want to watch again and again and again, because as I'm sure, if you're like me, you've just sat through this, you're probably going to go and want to watch the film, because, boy, I do. I'm going to go watch it right now.
Big fan.
Why wouldn't you be?
But before I do, I just want to say thank you for watching, as always. Please feel free to leave comments below. Give us a like if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. You get a Big Damn Love every Sunday. You get the Big Damn Cast every Friday. We're going to be doing some more Big Damn streams over at twitch.tv in the coming months. And also, you know, we may have some other things on the back burner that we want to bring to you soon. But we can't do that if you don't keep watching and spread the word. If you want to get in touch with us, then bigdamcontact@gmail.com if you want to send a long one, or tweet us at BigDamnCast on Twitter. Bye-bye now!